So you just got your new Mac and are curious about how you can use it most effectively, right? Let me walk you through some of my tips while setting up a new Mac that could boost your productivity using the latest macOS feature. But most importantly, I will show you how to personalize your Mac to your own style. Customize something that works just for you. So tip number 1. Log in with your Apple ID or iCloud to add the new device to your ecosystem, as it protects your device and sync data from one to another seamlessly. Things like copy and paste between devices or continuing work on your iPhone notes from a Mac are possible. So that is convenient, but also inconvenience when the free plan is limited to 5 GB. So the idea is only to keep app that actually matters. So right before login, I usually go to iCloud and manage the list of apps that can sync to my iCloud. I always pick apps that don't take much space, like reminders, calendars, and password. You can turn on and off based on your preference, but make sure you keep these two on. Password and keychain to save own app password, credit card information across your device. So whenever you need to log into something on a browser, you can rely on the autofill feature to save you so much time. The next one is Find My Mac, and it is essential to sync it to your iCloud, so you could remotely track your Mac location or log and erase its data in case you lose it. And since we're talking about privacy, the next thing that I would highly recommend you to set up is Touch ID and password to protect your personal space. Not only is it faster for you when unlocking your Mac, but also when authenticating with Apple Pay or whenever you need to autofill your password, it just brings more convenience. And speaking of convenience, this video is brought to you by FlexiSpot. The company specializes in smart and innovative furnitures like standing desks and ergonomic chairs. They sent me this OC6 ergonomic chair to try, which come in a single neat package. The installation is surprisingly easy, which took me about 30 minutes, with a few screws and a detailed manual. The chair build quality is very solid, and when you're sitting on it, you can feel it's incredibly sturdy and spacious. So even in a posture like this, you know you can't fall backward too easily. This is an adjustable ergonomic chair, and it literally means that. So changing the height or leaning backward are things you see in a normal chair. But being able to change the seat depth, the armrest position, or even this lumbar, this chair just brings another level of personalization. And as a person who has to sit a lot, having this chair just fixed all of my problems. My back and neck feel better than ever, and sitting on a mat chair is also more elastic and flexible. So if you have an office job or even you playing games a lot, having a good chair to support your body is essential for long-term comfort and health. So check out this chair from the link in the description, and thanks FlexiSpot for sponsoring this portion of the videos. So it's all about getting the most out of your Mac, and one feature that could help you with that is Apple Intelligence and Siri. Since Siri being integrated with ChatGPT, there's a couple of things that you could do with it. And one of them is asking a quick query without going to any online AI assistant. It's ready to access through a quick shortcut. It's convenient to tell Siri to set new reminders or calendar events, or even send a text message to people from your contact list. Other things you could try with Apple Intelligence are text revision and summary, which are not extraordinary, but I guess it does bring convenience, so make sure to turn it on and try it out. Now my next tip will be to turn on iPhone mirrorings on your new Mac. This is a game changer if you use your Mac and iPhone together. With iPhone mirroring, you can see and control your iPhone directly from the convenience of your Mac. I use it frequently because iPhone mirroring lets me seamlessly drag and drop files between my two devices, and it is surprisingly faster than a normal AirDrop. Now let's move to the part where you can personalize your Mac experience, starting with the control center. This is where you will decide what should be shown on your menu bar and your control center. So you can customize that through this dashboard. Whenever you click on any module, there will be option for you to decide whether you want to display it on the menu bar or in the control center. Now moving to the desktop and dock, this is where you can customize how they look and function. So here's a couple of settings that I recommend you try, and they work perfectly for me in the area of usability and multitasking. First of all, I try to minimize the size and maximize the magnification of my dock so I can still grab the app that I need without taking up a portion of my display. And then I change the dock position to the right, and I will explain why I did that in a couple of minutes. Next, we are going to turn on the automatic show and hide the dock, and turn off show suggest recent app in dock. which turns your dock into a fully functioning dock, but only show when we actually need it. Now, if you're seeing any application that you don't use frequently, you can do right-click, option, and remove from dock. Moving to the Stage Manager setting, this is where you can manage open application windows within a single strip on the left side, which allow you to have a quick access when switching between apps. So we are going to enable show items in Stage Manager and also these two options. Having done that, you can see now we have a stack of open windows on the left and a neat and clean dock on the right side, which only show whenever I move the mouse over. And to make things even more optimized, I also set up hot corners. This led me to assign quick action to the four corners of the screen. Some things like put display into a sleep mode or open a quick note within a second. Now let's talk about display. There's a few options that I always do with my new Mac, and the first one on the list is selecting the right resolution that I feel the most comfortable with. There's a different preset, so just choose what option works for you. And then most importantly, I'm going to turn off the automatic adjust brightness and true tone. The reason is that most of my work involves working with videos and graphics, so I want a stable brightness, and I also turn off the true tone to make on display colors remain consistently. Let's move on to the lock screen setting, where we are going to set the rule for how long the screen is turned off when in activity. Me personally, I always set these two to never. I know this might cause my Mac to consume more powers, but it is convenient for me as sometimes I leave my Mac awake through the night to download multiple games, which take a couple of hours. So I think this is the best way to make it work at its best performance without any interruption. So that is the system setting. Let's just dive into macOS default app, which is Finder, and do some customization. The first thing we're going to do is customize the Finder's toolbar for your quick access. So right click and select customize toolbar. Now from the dashboard, drag any item that you would use the most. Mine will be the AirDrop, and also drop items that you are not going to use. So this is very convenient. Instead of right click, share AirDrop, I can now select the file and AirDrop instantly. One more thing that I do with Finders is enable the path bar at the bottom, so I am more efficient in navigating between folders. So that is pretty much everything I did on my new MacBook Air to increase my productivity. And it does save me a lot of times, and I hope it can do the same to you. And since you're interested about how to improve your usability on Mac, I will highly recommend you to watch this video where I show some necessary apps on Mac. Other than that, thank you all for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Goodbye.